so we are going to be doing our last part of our balancing stones. So what you will have today, if you remember correctly, we finished this, our paper's dry. You will have black chalk, you will have white chalk, and you will have this acrylic white paint. It's going to be more opaque, so because we don't want you to be able to see through it. We want to really add some really pure white highlights at the end and a paintbrush. So we're going to start out with the white just because it's not quite as messy as the black. So we're going to go ahead and pretend, first of all, we have to, as an artist, we have to say before we begin a piece of art, we have to say, where is our light source coming from? That is very, very important. So I'm going to pretend like my light source is coming from this side and it's kind of shining down from this side of the rocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my white chalk on its side, and I'm just going to do this half of the rocks. I'm just going to very randomly place some white. Very, very randomly. That's important. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to blend. And this is going to create all those different values of gray, where the light is bouncing off everywhere on these rocks. That's going to give it that really realistic look. All right. And then I already have that darker gray. I already have that, so that's perfect. Might want to put a little bit more right here on this top one. It's probably going to get a lot of light. So is this one right here, probably sticking out. And so is this one that's kind of sticking out. You just have to use your imagination and think, where is a lot of light going to be coming? Where is it going to be hitting and reflecting? All right, so now we have to add our shadows. And I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to work my way down, but I want you to really think about where it's going to be darkest. Of course, where the rocks are sitting on top of each other, you are going to have a really dark shadow right in between because no light is hardly getting there. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Right in between every single rock, make sure it's on its side, you're going to add a very dark shadow. This is going to create the depth that we need to make it look realistic. And I'm going to take my finger, I'm just going to blend that out. See, it already is starting to look 3D in this. All right, but we're not done. All right, we are also going to have shadows on this side of all of the rocks. So what you're going to do is you're going to, let's see, we're going to start at the top rock and we're just going to put a little curve. Okay, and we're going to do this on kind of all of them. We're just going to put a little curve right down here at the bottom. We're really going to have some shadow. Perfect. And then we're going to blend that out. And you're going to kind of curve it out, and you can kind of pull it towards the center. That's going to make it look, it's going to blend it really well and make it look way more realistic and blended. Perfect. With my light's way over here, this is going to get really dark on this side of the rock. And I'm going to kind of pull some of this towards the center. If you notice, I'm taking my finger and I'm pulling it toward the center. All right, so now, not only are you going to have and you're going to get a little bit of chalk on your paper, that's okay. Try not to get a bunch of smudgies. All right, so not only are we going to have shadows right up underneath, but these rocks are going to cast shadows. The rocks above are going to cast shadows on the bottom rocks. So I want you to just kind of take your chalk and just kind of do a curve from the middle to right here at the bottom. So you're almost making like a diagonal line. Okay, we're just going to do this little diagonal line. And we're just going to blend that out. Okay? Just going to blend that out. You don't want any sharp lines. No harsh sharp. We're just going to blend that out. You don't want it perfectly straight. Perfect. All right, so now we've got some shadows. We've got some light. You don't want it all perfect. You kind of make it all random in there. So now we've got lots of shadow. We have some light. We have some medium values. Now, the darkest part is going to be right down here at the bottom, this really big rock that's holding all of them. You're going to have your deepest shadow right in here. So you are going to make a shadow, and then you are going to kind of curve it around. Since our light source is coming from this way, it's actually going to cause a big shadow from this rock right here. So you're just going to kind of take your finger and you're going to make like this little rounded, and mine's going to kind of go off the page here. So do you see how I'm just kind of rounding this out? I got a little bit of a shadow here, but it's mainly going all the way around. And that's okay. It can go off the page a little. That's okay. All right. So perfect. Now I've got my great big shadow. And remember, it is a silhouette. So it's going to be the same exact shape as this rock right here. This is the shadow that we've got right here from this big rock. So you want to make sure that it's about the same. Whatever this rock looks like, you want it to kind of be the same shape as that rock. All right, so now you're going to have a sponge. I'm going to go ahead and wipe my hands off on a wipe. So now we don't want all that. We don't want all that black chalk everywhere. Now we're going to add our highlights. This is the fun part. This is where you just get to pretend where you've got some really bright places. So I think I want to very randomly place some bright spots here. You don't want to put your bright spots in any of the shadow part. Okay, you're not going to have any bright there. Your bright's going to be over here where your light source is coming. And again, try to be as random as possible with this. You don't want it to be all straight and perfect. Now this is a bigger rock. I'm probably going to have a few more highlights. This is the fun part. Perfect. And I might even have a highlight right there on top of that rock. Right there. All right. And when you're done, you should have something that looks about like this. All right. Have fun.